Hello, friends, and happy Wednesday. We are halfway through the week. We are still working on our All About books, which remember is a form of informational writing. So we are informing or telling our readers all about something. And today, guys, we get to draw again, so that's exciting. We got to draw yesterday, too. So we get to draw again, and we are looking at diagrams. So we are going to create a diagram for our All About book. So you know what that means. Good writers use diagrams in their writing. And normally this is used only in informational writing. So I'm going to show you an example diagram today, and then we're going to create our diagrams for our All About books together. So let's go ahead and head on over to my example diagram. So for my example diagram, excuse me, friends, we have two parts that you will see. And I have that down here at the bottom. So you have your picture or pictures, depending on your diagram. And so the pictures show a person, place, or thing. So my diagram, example diagram, is supposed to be a sunflower. And so you can see the picture of the sunflower, so we can easily tell, okay, that's a flower. So that means when you go to draw your picture about your when you go to draw your picture, when you go to draw the picture portion of your diagram for your All About book, it's going to show a person, place, or thing. Well, for us, it's actually just going to show a thing because none of us did an All About book about a person or a place. We either chose a sport, a food, an animal, or a type of transportation. So, for example, I chose a hot dog, so when we get to that step, I'll draw a hot dog. Mackenzie chose a fire truck, so when she would get to her diagram, she would draw a fire truck. So it's whatever you decided to write your All About book about. So remember, this is just an example. So we have our sunflower. So that's our example. So we have our picture. So the first step of a diagram is always to do the picture first. And then you can see that I have some labels. And our labels tell different parts of the person, place, or thing. So you can see that I have this labeled petal, so these are the petals, and I have this part labeled the stem. Now I have two more labels that I wanted to add, just because I wanted to show you guys how to add labels. So another part of our sunflower that I want to tell or inform my readers about is their leaves. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw an arrow pointing towards that, and I'm going to label it with what it is, and it is a leaf. So we have that. And so what I also need to do is label one more thing. And I wanted to show you guys this one just so you know that sometimes your arrows are going to go over other parts of your diagram. So in this middle part of a sunflower, there are a whole bunch of seeds. So what I need to do is draw an arrow. And if you can see, I'm going over my diagram that's already drawn and colored. And make an arrow, and then I'll write what it is. So it's okay if you have to draw over part of your diagram to make your arrow so that it points at the correct thing. So we're going to write seeds. So we have our picture, which shows the person, place, or thing we're talking about. Then we have our labels, which tell about the different parts of the person, place, or thing. So this is a thing, it's a flower, and I am informing my readers about the petals, the seeds, the leaf, and the stem. Now guys, there's one thing I'm missing. So I have a label up here and it says diagrams, just because this is like our mini anchor chart. But we still have to have a title or heading, if you will, for our actual diagram. So this is a sunflower, so the heading or title of our diagram is going to be sunflower. Okay, so there is our example diagram, but now we have to draw our own diagram. So remember, a diagram tells you about a person, place, or thing, and it tells you the different parts of that person, place, or thing. Now guys, diagrams most of the time are about a thing or a place. Sometimes you can have them about people. But ours will be all about things. So what I need you guys to do now is collect all of the supplies you're going to need to create your own diagram. So you're going to need a pencil. And if you have them, some coloring supplies. So whether that's markers, crayons, colored pencils, whatever it is. And if you don't have them, that's okay. You can just use pencil. And then you're also going to need a piece of paper. So remember, you can either have plain like computer paper or you can have notebook paper. So you need paper, coloring supplies, and a pencil. So you can see all of those up on my screen. And you guys are going to go grab all of those. And then come on back when you're finished. So you can go ahead and grab those and then come on back. Pause now. Awesome job, friends. So guys, the first thing that we're going to have to do for our diagram is draw our picture. And so the first thing you have to remember is, well, what is my All About book about? Well, Miss Greyhouse is all about hot dogs. So for me, I'm going to have to draw a hot dog. You guys are going to have to draw whatever your All About book was about. So whether that's pizza, basketball, a dog, a cat, a penguin, an ambulance, a fire truck, a tow truck. So that is what you will draw. And remember guys, you can always head on over to YouTube and Google how to draw a fire truck or how to draw a pizza, and you can probably find a video of how to draw it. So that's if you really, really want that help and want to go that extra mile. But if not, what you're going to do, since we already practiced drawing yesterday, is I'm going to have you guys pause and draw your picture part of your diagram, and then we're going to come back and we're going to label them together. So I want you to go and draw your picture for your diagram and then come back when you're finished. You can go ahead and pause now. Awesome job. So everybody has the picture for their diagram drawn. And remember, it's okay if it is not perfect, guys. So Miss Greyhouse has her hot dog. And the first thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and put a heading on my page, or a title, if you will. So I'm just going to label a hot dog because, guys, it's a hot dog. I'm going to label it hot dog. Okay, so then I have to add my labels. And if you have a food one, it's pretty straightforward. If you have an animal, remember you could just be labeling the parts of its bodies. We kind of touched on that yesterday. if you have a sports one, maybe you have like a basketball and a basketball hoop or something like that. So Miss Greyhouse is going to go ahead and model labeling hers. So I'm going to make sure each thing has a label. So the first thing we have is the bun. So I'm going to make an arrow pointing to it, and I'm going to write bun, because that's my bun. Okay, then we move on to the next part. So we have my hot dog. So once again, arrow, and I'm going to write hot dog. And then guys, since I did 2 labels on this side, I'm going to move over to this next side, or I may even do them on top and bottom, so that this side is not too crowded and it's an easy to read diagram. So remember, then we have our mustard up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down from the top and draw an arrow, and then I'm going to write mustard. Just like that. And then I have one more thing to label, and that is my ketchup. So once again, I'm going to come up and draw an arrow to my ketchup line, and I'm going to write ketchup. Ketchup. So we got some ketchup and mustard on my hot diggity dog. Reminds me of that sound from the song from Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, if anybody knows that one. That's what it reminds Miss Greyhouse of. So guys, it's super easy and super fast. You're just labeling the parts of your photograph, of your picture. So if you have an animal, maybe you're labeling their feet, their eye, their nose or beak, their mouth, their wings if they have wings, their legs if they have legs, any special feature they have. So if you had a kangaroo, you would label their pouch. If you had like a shark or an alligator or crocodile, it would be super, super important to make sure you were showing their teeth, because their teeth are super important, and you can label their teeth. If you're doing a type of transportation, so like if you were doing an ambulance, you would label the lights and the door, and like the little medical sign on the side that shows they're an ambulance, maybe the wheels. So there's a lot of different things that you could label. So what you guys are going to do now is you're going to go back and label your diagram. So I want you to have at least 4 labels. So I want you to have at least 4 labels. And then you're going to take a picture of your completed diagram and post it to Seesaw, and then you're done for today. And tomorrow, guys, we are going to start the process of making or choosing bolded words from our text. And we're going to use our diagram to help us with that process. So please, please, please make sure that after you finish your diagram and post it to Seesaw, that you put it in a safe place so that you can reference it tomorrow. And yeah, so we're going to do that tomorrow. You guys will finish your diagram with at least 4 labels, take a picture, upload it to Seesaw, and I will see all of you tomorrow. Have a great day, guys.